afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, and today I have for you a 1 versus 1 on Langres. Yes, indeed, Langres. In fact, it's going to be a bit of a not short in that sense, but I'm going to have to skip over a bit things, university beginning all again, and it's rather sort of disrupting the usual tempos at the moment. I am what you might call a bit short on time, so of course I have to sort of skip some of the pleasantries, But who shall be fanning on here in the southern corner? We are seeing our good old friend, HelpingHans, fanning for the Panzer Elite. Lots of Panzergrenadier on the way. And we are seeing Little Hans in the Kettenkart. HelpingHans fighting for the Wehrmacht. Well, in this case, probably more likely the SS, the 17th SS Panzergrenadiers. Lovely chaps, those. Volksdeutsche, or ethnic Germans from Romania, I believe. Not fully trained though, and we are seeing Oyelanbo fighting for the Americans. He's a bit of a smurf according to Mr. Hans right there, but he's certainly knowing what he's doing. He's already going for a 4-engineer start, but nonetheless here he is fighting for the 4th Infantry Division. Panzergrenadiers advancing for the glory of the fatherland. And the 17th SS was not a fully trained division. The most trained troops, in fact, had only received a few months. I believe it might have been 4 to 5, perhaps 6 months. In some cases, I'm not entirely sure. Of course, they had a core of veterans from other divisions, but they were sort of bit lacking, though, in full training, and certainly had some deficiencies, including lots in equipment. They didn't have as many trucks and cars and everything else they could actually need. Plus, of course, they didn't get the Panthers they were supposed to get, but nor did they get the Jagdpanzers they were supposed to get. Well, they got them, but that sort of happened much later in the war. But HelpingHans pushing really hard with SS Diligence, going right here for the east, for really going close to the strategic cutoff point by the Americans, sort of with the engineers, of course, is having a bit of a problem sort of fighting this, because again, the Panzergrenadiers against engineers, unless the engineers can easily get close up, they are going to be a bit of a problem against these Panzergrenadiers, and that's rather what HelpingHans is rather capitalizing on against with this 4-engineer start, which can do well against, the Wehrmacht, but against some rather heavy Panzergrenadier start from the Panzer Elite, they can run into what you might describe as some casual problems.
Americans are seizing territory from
and trying to go for the cutoff point, trying to deny a lot of resources of HelpingHans, but of course, Panzergrenadiers with Kar-98Ks moving in. In terms of fighting prowess, a Panzergrenadier team is sort of close to a Grenadier team. It's not quite as much health, and they do close to the damage, but not quite. They're a little less accurate, and they do a little less damage, but otherwise, they're pretty good soldiers. I mean, they're better than Volksgrenadiers, and they're certainly cheaper, although it costs less numerical, and they do cost a lot more to reinforce. But still, a Panzergrenadier is a pretty potent soldier, and should not be underestimated. Riflemen pushing in there from the north. Panzergrenadiers firing back with due diligence. Rather than firing away with quite a bit of glee there, although they are sort of equal. Now they are in fact outnumbering the Panzergrenadiers. Looks like could these engineers, yes indeed, they are flanking about one rifleman down. More Panzergrenadiers are ramming Gewehr 43s firing into the engineers, and the engineers are not looking too well. In fact, they could be forced away in the meanwhile, though. Engineers continuing right diligently there, seizing a lot of territory. That's good. That's good indeed. That in fact will be untouched by this cutoff point. And in fact, I'm not entirely sure why HelpingHans is fighting so hard for this cutoff point, considering, well, there's not much he can really cut off from. And some incendiary grenades apparently now being prepared for HelpingHans. So that's certainly also a bit interesting. So far, HelpingHans securing a bit of territory. Engineers now moving in, but quickly running into some Panzergrenadier troubles. And yes, I have so many fans. Quite nice, And we are seeing a bit of fighting going on there. Yes, I can't respond, while I'm casting, of course, watching on replays. Of course, if you see this, don't take it personal. Lots of Panzergrenadiers for HelpingHans. In fact, he's up to 5 teams. That's a pretty aggressive start for him. No half-tracks, no sort of company buildings as of yet. Doing a bit of harassment over there with the Kettenkart, while the engineers are pushing off. Of course, there's nothing to protect there. Incendiary grenades and Panzergrenadiers are being forced back. HelpingHans actually hasn't been suffering so heavily so far. Some minor losses, but against the 4-engineer start, of course, he's doing alright, I'd say. And I'm not entirely sure that Oyelanbo have been expecting such a Panzer Grenadier heavy start. Then again, he is fighting in the Panzer Elite, and that's what most Panzer Elite commanders tend to go for. But units are pushing onwards and then being pushed away. American trying to break through area. He's trying to go for this point instead and try to connect through there, of course. Could work, could work. Riflemen firing left and right as Panzer Grenadiers inch forwards ever slowly. Engineers once more trying to break out. And we are seeing more incendiary grenades getting locked. Oh dear, some pretty heavy losses for the riflemen. The Panzer Grenadiers keep fighting onwards, though taking one loss themselves. There we go, all connected again, but Panzer is quick to disconnect. Cheeky fellows, and we are seeing a comfortable company coming up for HelpingHans and the 17th. Flamethrower engineers now moving in, not going in for the Panzer Grenadiers. That might have been a bit of a mismove for some other engineers moving about. Looking a bit grim. He's got more riflemen ready. No medic station. I mean, one could have been quite helpful there, I think, in the beginning. In particular, since the fight is going on close here. Which certainly also help in sort of the other perimeter where you usually want to try to fight a Panzer Grenadier commander. This attrition. I mean, you really want to grind them down, particularly when they are going that heavy on Panzer Grenadiers. Then trying to sort of drain them of manpower is usually not a bad idea at all. But he's of course having a bit of trouble adapting to that. Again, I'm pretty sure he hadn't been expecting this. And now we are seeing HelpingHans. He's probably got some strategy in mind. He's probably expecting, alright, my opponent will be trying to go for some sort of M8 business, or perhaps even Shermans, in which case he's going for the Teller mines, where we are seeing Vorsicht, which basically means careful, or caution, written on them, which makes sense considering there's a pretty heavy mine with lots of explosives in it. Engineers coming out a bit of fire. Panzer is advancing. These engineers need to get out of there. Otherwise they're going to end up with a deadly case of lead through their heads. And we are seeing HelpingHans not opting to be very helpful to his opponent. In fact, going straight for the Panzerjäger command. We'll probably be seeing some armored cars very soon. He's also going for defensive operations. Reinforcing a bit. He could also be getting assault rifles any moment soon. The American commander trying to cut off as many vital points. In fact, going for this point is not a bad idea. Could of course deny a point, which in fact would mean that HelpingHans so far would not have anything connected to his area except this point. Of course, might also want to consider getting some mines. In fact, he is mining awfully close to HelpingHans' mine. Oh dear, mines everywhere. Not a bad idea, and of course more mines might be an idea. Because again, I mean, usually when you see this many Panzer Grenadiers and nothing else, it's not entirely unusual to see them go for armored cars. I mean, that's pretty much what 60 or 70% of all Panzer Elite commanders go for in that case. I mean, it's sort of like Americans. If you don't see BARs after a certain amount of time, you know, expect M8. Same with the Panzer Elite. If you're only seeing Panzer Grenadiers after, and you don't see anything else for some time, perhaps incendiary grenades, you know, expect armored cars. Simple as that. I mean, yeah, I know it sounds a bit, you know, perhaps too casual, but that's usually how it goes. Though he is trying to mine, this is a good thing. Of course, also remember to stay in cover. And HelpingHans, of course, spotting the mine, then lobbing off an incendiary grenade, sorting that out. And more incendiary grenades doing quite some damage right there. Yankees are on fire. The Krauts not quite so. Fighting a bit out in the open. And there we go, the Sonderkraftfahrzeug 232. Leichte Panzerspähwagen arriving, armed with the 20mm autocannon. There were a few variants of this sort of reconnaissance vehicles for the Germans. They of course had the heavy armored car, which was was later changed into the Puma with the 50mm gun. There was also some reconnaissance tanks. One based on the Panzer II, which was called the Lux, and there was also one based on the Panzer 38T, which actually didn't get a name, but some actually fought in Normandy. Plus, some half-tracks were actually also converted into armored cars with a gun like that, you know. Bit of work there. Doing a bit of harassment right there. Going for the cut-off points. Bit of a setback for the Americans. Mine set off right. No, that got spotted by the Kettenkrad. And looks like some engineers were absolutely slaughtered by that armored car. Less than good for the American commander. He's taking a bit of a beating. And now we are seeing a Panzer Support Command. HelpingHans again sort of expecting the vehicular business. Of course, we are seeing a motor pool. We are seeing more Teller mines going down for for Helping Hans, not Teller Hans. And Little Hans is still in his kitten cart. And we are seeing, of course, Tank Hunter, but of course we couldn't know that with the Teller Mines. But of course, for an opponent who is a bit sharp-eyed, again, note what the kitten cart has on its back. If it has something like that, it's, well, pretty much tank destroyer. If it has explosives, it's the scorched earth, and if it's camouflage, although with this skin I don't think you can actually see, but then it's Luftwaffe, otherwise regularly. Anti-tank gun advancing, and oh dear, little armored car, little armored guy, it could be a problem. Damaged engine, oh no, Panzerspielwagen is in trouble. And kaput, blown to bits, the Panzergrenadier staring in awe as the armored car is blown to bits, in fact completely shattered as Riflemen advance in one wave, almost. Panzer is trying to run to the next line of cover, some going down on the tactical retreat. Screaming for their comrades to aid them. Riflemen could be flanking about here, some to occupy here, and then of course flank about here, firing onto there where the cover doesn't pry. Now we are seeing an anti-tank half-track coming out. On the leichte Panzerspielwagen, on the leichte Schützenpanzerwagen. Fun fact about this, while it does say light anti-tank half-track, its job was actually more that of a platoon commander, sort of like a light assault gun, sort of dig out anyone that was dug in and stuff like that. Suppose also for light vehicles. There was also a variant with an anti-tank rifle mounted on it. Essentially. Panzergun is still being forced away, still no medic station for the American. I really think he could be doing well with that. Auto supply and upgrade. Not looking good for our American friend. In fact, it's time to have a look at him. And shift of music. We are seeing a observation post right here. I might disagree with that at this stage. I mean, we are seeing more assault rifles sort of moving about in one unit. Not entirely good. Anti-tank gun left behind. Nothing to protect it. Come on, Lambo. Protect. Trier center. Good. More anti-tank guns. Perhaps not quite as good. I'd recommend more riflemen or perhaps some BARs to deal with all these Panzer Grenadiers. So far, I mean, Oyelanbo might be making a bit of a mistake here. He's not really focusing on what is the problem. What is the problem? All those damn Panzer Grenadiers. That's rather his main issue as of yet. Rifleman getting shot to bits. Not looking too good, and this observation post is still taking a shooting from this anti-tank half-track. Another anti-tank gun getting ready, Rifleman getting healed and all that. That is good. Kitten Crowd and Little Hans securing what they can over here, and there we go. Observation post is finally down, but not really looking good for our American friend. Looks like he's pushing onwards. Onwards. I said onwards. And there we go. Panzergrenadiers taking up position, firing with their assault rifle, the Sturmgewehr 440. Rifleman might want to sort of approach a bit better. There we go. Panzergrenadier down. And there we go. Looks like he might be pulling back. More armor cars arriving for Helping Hands. Americans slowly advancing. No further infantry though. Again, he might want to consider that or something else.
Lost a supply lines are broke there all day. Territory cut
Engineers are dead. Not really looking good for Oyelanbo at this stage. Not too good unit preservation. Advancing on these Panzer Grenadiers, half-track firing away in support. No focus fire though from Helping Hands. Bit of a waste there. Come on, Oyelanbo, do something. I know you've got it in you. Just can't remember when you get it.
We're losing a point out there.
And looks like some Panzer Grenadiers hit a mine. Oh dear. Poor Panzer Grenadiers. And again, watching from the American viewpoint, so damn crouch. Take that. And there we go. Now we are seeing Rangers being prepared. That could help if he actually bothers to call them in. Engineers in trouble. Anti-tank gun trying to cover. Not quite. Rangers. There we go. Finally getting those Rangers with the bazookas and their elite armor should be of help. And getting some Thompson submachine guns for them as well. That's going to help a bit. Rangers to lead the way. Perhaps Oyelanbo into something slightly less grim for his forces. Slow advance in the east. Panzer guys once more going for the cutoff point. Once more, nothing to guard it.
Territory sector being captured.
Not good at all. I'm not quite entirely sure what he's thinking. Oh well, he's not going to be attacking now after all those times he already attacked it. I mean, he can't keep at it, can he? Now, of course, there's sort of a bit of a confusion. He doesn't seem to quite there right from getting into this building with nothing to support them. Incendiary grenades getting lobbed at them. Assault rifle grenades charging in. Anti-tank, I'm not entirely sure what he's doing there. Panzer guys are pulling away temporarily from that strategic point, but for how long? There we go, Rangers opening up. Thompson's machine guns at the Panzer guys. Panzer guys going in after the anti-tank gun. Rangers are just standing about, can't entirely decide who to deal with. It might have been an idea earlier to go for some hand grenades instead of, like, say that again. Observation post to really think that observation post was a bit of a miss. And the Panzer grenadiers get absolutely slaughtered. Heinz, Kurt and Klaus got absolutely mauled by the Rangers. Anti-tank gun goes down. Oh dear, helping hands, you're not helping your troops at all. Armored car flanks the anti-tank gun. Looks like it clears out the anti-tank gun crew. Hand grenades now getting ready for Oyelanbo. Again, he seems not quite good, but at least he's making some progress now. Really did some damage there to helping hands. Now just sort of needs to quickly push on and push the advantage, you know. I mean, when you have an opportunity like this, I mean, the thing you usually do is sort of try and push and sort of give your opponent the least time to actually recover from this mess. And of course, I mean, most of his infantry is right now in a bad state, and he's only got a little vehicle, so of course the trick he should be trying to apply for now is of course pushing onwards, and he's trying to lay down a telemine, so when someone tries to of course seize this anti-tank gun, what happens? Telemine sets off, and anti-tank gun and crew blows to bits. So nasty little thing there. Grenades almost... No, he's might have finished them actually, but still, get a move on. Get those Rangers moving, Oyelanbo. You've got a full Ranger team there. Get them moving, get them killing, get them gaining some veterancy, mate. Armored car sneaking about. Come on, Lanbo. Onwards, onwards. You can do it. At least I think you can. Otherwise, remember this replay wrong. Bit short on time again. My apologies if it seems a bit too one-sided at the moment. Most sorry. But it was either this or one of my own games at the moment. I don't feel quite it's the time for that. And armored car dodges bazooka rockets again. Oyelanbo, come on, push, push. A bit of finding here, finding also BARs. A grenade could be lobbed at these Panzer Grenadiers or some suppressive fire. Just do something, please, and don't move the anti-tank gun into that. No grenades. There we go, actually, and the rifleman actually going to get lost. Bit of a miss there. Rangers moving in to deal with that, apparently, since no one else can. Very little units left for Oyelanbo, not looking good at all. There we go, the Rangers leading the way. Charging in with Thompson submachine guns, clearing out some of those Panzer Grenadiers. And riflemen stepping in the way. Oh dear, some Panzer guns could be going down, perhaps. No, not quite. Apparently not. Going once more for the cutoff point. Oh, come on, Oyelanbo. Not entirely sure why HelpingHans actually sent me in this replay by this stage. And I also seem to remember it being more exciting, but then again, that's what happens when you watch it at 8 times speed, which I have to, otherwise I can't watch all the replays. Oh well. Sometimes players get very excited, of course, and in very one-sided replays. And again, that's probably one of the major reasons, you know, I don't cast a replay if you're sort of wondering, well, why aren't you casting mine? It's because it probably was very one-sided. I tried to stay away from those. But again, sometimes accidents happen. Just remember, I just thought that Mr. Oyelanbo did more, but then again, he could be making a comeback sooner or later.
Fuel point is being taken by the enemy.
But again, he seems to sort of be lacking the fire. With the spirit to actually do something. Incendiary grenade on the rifleman. Rangers getting shot up. Veterans who won for those chaps. That's good. Getting another anti-tank gun. Apparently feeling this one has been suspiciously mined. That's not a bad idea. Now going for the weapon support center. Good work, good work. Well, let's just speed this up and let's go look at HelpingHans. Mine hit. Panzer is taking some losses. Fighting here, and we're seeing a grenade. Doing not much. Where are the Rangers? Where are the riflemen? Oh wait, they're the Rangers. Never mind. Just me being silly. Veterans who won this only going to be a bit tougher, a bit more accurate. Lots of defensive veterans for their assault grenadiers. Well, they're grenadiers with assault rifles. Rifleman charging in. Oh dear, Panzer Grenadier team again goes down. He's actually been losing some of all his expensive assault rifle equipped Panzer Grenadier. And now Panthers have been called in. That's going to pose a bit of a problem. Although these anti-tank guns could also pose a bit of a problem. But again, Oyelanbo needs to be more aggressive. He's much too passive. And again, HelpingHans needs to be a bit more discerning in the replays he sends in. They usually... But then again, I mean, if you send in some good ones, I'm more likely to cut your snack and of course dispense with some of the checking, you know, a bit more thorough. But in this case, I just think I remembered wrong. But Panthers are flanking about here. And Rangers moving in, hoping to get off a few bazooka rockets on the sides. Not a bad idea, but of course once the Panthers turn, you usually pull away. Anti-tank guns moving in. This could do a bit of damage. And of course, if he could sort of crush this armored spearhead, which must arrive from the Panzerlehr, he could turn things around. Rangers hunting in. One Panther almost down. Second one taking a bit of fire. Riflemen and engineers are in fact pushing through here, securing a bit of territory once more. Panthers trying to get away. More rear hits. And more damage to those poor Panthers. Oyelanbo breaking through here. He's actually taking some territory. He's laying down mines. You know, just keep pushing. Keep pushing. That's what you usually do when your opponent's a bit off guard. You keep pushing, thus forcing things to get worse. And there we go. Armor car moving in. Riflemen need to get to cover and perhaps get some support from those Rangers. Just do something, Oyelanbo, please. Not get your riflemen killed. We are seeing a machine gun emplacement going up there to cover this area. I suppose that one option. Of course, another one might have been to get some, like, say, oh, I don't know, a medic station would also have been good. Would certainly help with all those losses he's been suffering. Engineers not just standing back doing nothing. Panzer is under heavy fire. Replacement Panzer Grenadiers arriving. Armor cars sneaking about. Anti-tank gun being sent south. Good. And looks like a sniper now ready for Oyelanbo. He's perhaps hoping to sort of capitalize a bit and do some damage to those Panzer Grenadiers. Snipe the bastards. Get some damn krauts. Yeehaw. Never mind that. And there we go. We are seeing a charge by HelpingHans. A charge right into a 30 caliber. Sniper opens up. Panzer Grenadiers getting suppressed ever slowly. Running away. Keep sniping, sniper, and oh dear, more Panzer Grenadiers going down. Not quite going well for HelpingHans. Panzer Grenadiers, in fact, he's also getting assault grenadiers, which is a bit more remarkable considering all the munitions he has. Come on, HelpingHans. I would have thought you better at mathematics. In particular, again, with this sort of thing, you know, again, manpower, the most important, munitions, then fuel. It actually sort of fits in that sense, you know. And you usually sacrifice the one below for the one above, although you can't really sacrifice fuel for munitions, but you get the idea. Munitions before manpower. Always. And Panzer's getting sniped. Oh dear, that sniper is going to be quite a pain in the ass, and he's already getting veterancy 1, of course. Panzer's gave much more veterancy to units. Anti-tank half-track firing away, 7 kills so far, with 37mm pack. Rifleman going down. Could we be seeing some actual focused fire? No, apparently Helping Hands has better thing to do, like say spend his munitions, because he's floating a ridiculous amount. Anti-tank guns for Oyelanbo. Mortar half-track now getting ready for Helping Hands. Could this lead to something interesting? I don't know. But at least Oyelanbo has stabilized the situation a bit. In fact, now getting more of the victory points. That's good to see. Also, my apologies for no mid-game analysis, but again, time is of the essence if we want to get a night of decent sleep. And now again, Oyelanbo needs to get on the move. Just push, just push. Get some exchange. Now we are seeing mortar rounds flying. Incendiary rounds, in fact. Not quite hitting anything, it seems. Panthers moving about. Mines setting off. Rangers getting suppressed.
We are now capable of larger squads.
Lots of units in Oyelanbo's base. He could be moving them. He probably should be moving. And there we go. We are seeing Panzers trying to flank him out, getting stopped by the Rangers. Or at least intercepted. And the sniper, of course. Sniper might want to be careful. There we go. And Rangers are charging in, though, getting shot up by the assault rifles. Remember, one little detail about assault rifles and elite armor. While the sort of usual, they are a bit harder to hit applies. Assault rifles actually ignore the damage resistance that elite armor actually gives. Sniper went down, though, to these assault grenadiers charging right for everything, making a complete mess of Oyelanbo's lines. Anti-tank gun sorted out. Oh dear, this could be the sign for the huge push by Helping Hands. Panzer guns getting hit by their own mortar rounds. That's less than good. And mines over there to protect from any sort of flanking assault there. Another anti-tank gun is down. That's going to be a problem for Oyelanbo. And by quite a bit of a problem, I mean quite the problem. Needs to recruit anti-tank guns. Needs to deal with those Panthers. More Panthers arriving now with increased squad sizes. Assault Grenadiers. Panzer Grenadiers, this is looking less and less good for Mr. Oyelanbo. A quite well coordinated assault by the 17th SS. And Little Hans is still being a bit of a bastard up there. Mines going off, killing quite a few Panzer Grenadiers. Anti-tank guns in trouble. Rangers, Riflemen also not looking too good. Let's beat this. Oh wait, sorry. Getting a bit tired and my fingers are slipping a bit. Mortar rounds, incendiary grenades. These Riflemen are not looking in a good condition. They need to get the devil out of there. Rangers once more charging in, hoping to salvage the situation. Anti-tank gun slowly creeping forwards. An off-map combat group could prove to be of value for Oyelanbo. And again, Helping Hands floating a ridiculous amount of munitions. Again, he's getting more assault grenadiers. I mean, I have no idea why he's getting those when he could just get panzer grenades and say, get the munitions on that. I mean, in this game, sure, but in a game where he's actually up against a more competent opponent, that would not do. Again, not good mathematics. Well, let's speed this mess up a bit. Anti-tank after getting hunted down.
We are losing a sector.
Assault grenade standing out, and there go Panthers moving in. Mortar half-track supporting. Lots of assault grenadiers. Panthers.
Our supply lines are broken. We have territory out of supply.
Oyelanbo fighting to the last, it seems. Sticky bomb on the half-track. Let us return to Mr. Oyelanbo, who is apparently hoping for the off-map combat group to provide salvation. He's actually pulling back, apparently in expectation of that. In the meanwhile, the grip of Helping Hands grows stronger, and he gets a heavy machine gun, a mortar, an infantry team, and an anti-tank gun. I'm pretty sure that was not what Oyelanbo was expecting to pull him out of this mess. He's sort of got himself into due to, again, passiveness, lack of aggression, and in some cases not quite fortunate initial strategy. Assault rifles charging through. And incendiary grenade, machine gun getting scorched already. Mortar a bit too close to the front line, also getting scorched. Riflemen running straight up to the assault rifles, getting slaughtered. Mortar rounds flying. But they actually managed to force away the Panzer Grenadiers or the assault grenadiers. But again, not really looking good for the American 4th Infantry Division. Lots of assault grenadiers. Nothing hugely advanced, I fear. Again, I seem to have misremembered this game is much more exciting. I apologize. I do hope you find it exciting, of course. Well, let's speed this up a bit. Looks like a Panther could go down, but didn't.
Listen up, Rangers.
Ground out there.
Small fighting, but nothing serious. Wait, there we go. Engagement, and it's already falling apart. Fire everywhere. People dying. More specifically, Americans dying. The Panzer Grenadiers are doing pretty well. Anti-tank guns exposed once more. Nothing to cover the flanks.
Weapon crew lost.
And for some reason he actually went for a machine gun emplacement there. I think that's more mismanagement of resources on Oyelanbo's part. I mean, that one, alright, but this one, why? In particular, as it just end up getting flanked and of course cleared out by the Panthers.
Losing ground out here.
And rather something in me suspects this is pretty much it.
Long-range artillery is awaiting coordinates.
Now calling in artillery, forcing where the Panzer Grenadiers, but for how long will this last? Doubt it will be long before
We are losing a munitions sector.
the final assault moves in.
Allies are down to 300.
And a Yak Panther has arrived, yes indeed. Organising Sphere, Panzerjäger Abteilungs.
Bases under attack.
Probably the 653rd.
Barracks.
Barracks down. This is, well, pretty much it. So let's just stop there. There's nothing really after this. And there we go. I mean, my apologies again. I thought this game was a bit more exciting, a bit more equal, but not quite so. Again, it's sort of due to time constraints. I'll try to get something better for you tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, of course. But nonetheless, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned something from this. And of course, if you did, why not subscribe and tell your friends? And if you didn't, well, why not send in a replay of your own? And of course, what can we learn from this all again? I mean, in this case, you know, don't spend manpower when you can spend munitions. I mean, don't get assault grenades when you have plenty of munitions and less on manpower. Bad idea. But in particular, I mean, it then came down to an Oyelanbo's part. You know, partially went out with a bit unfortunate start against the Panzer Elite, which obviously pretty badly bit him in the arse. I mean, that's, you know, I mean, that's sort of what ought to have been expected when you're facing with the Panzer Elite. And again, he's sort of underestimated, or at least, you know, completely whiffed on what he was supposed to get. Lots of Panzer Grenadiers, and then he didn't bother to prepare for armored cars. Then he sort of got beaten up on that, and he sort of, a few times when he then had the upper hand, he just stood about doing nothing. I mean, lack of aggression, of course, completely missing on what his opponent was actually going to do. Not good at all. On the other hand, pretty good aggression from HelpingHans. Again, bad mathematics though. But there you go. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, why not subscribe or tell your friends? And if you didn't, well, why not send in a replay of your own? This is Imperial Dane saying cheers.